Hello everyone, welcome back to the segment. I hope you're having a nice time. So I have some more interesting update as usual, and let me start with the one that is obviously very interesting, and it's the fact that Emmanuel Amunike has now been unveiled as the new coach of the Heartland Football Club of Imo State. Earlier today, the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, actually unveiled him as the new coach of this football club side. If you follow the channel, of course, you know that we talked about this a few videos ago where I mentioned that Heartland FC were looking at getting a promotion slot or promotion ticket into next season's NPFL season. That's the 2024-2025 season, because they actually went on relegation for last season, but the report then was that they were looking at buying the slot for Beyond Limit, which is also owned by uh, Kunle Tsunami, the owner of Remo Star as well. So at that period, I even shared a video where Kunle Tsunami was talking about the possibility of uh, him and his directors, board of directors, actually selling that slot and then working um, together to see if they can actually secure a promotion for next season, from NNL. But it's now official. The Imo State-owned football club, Heartland FC, have now bought the slot. They've successfully bought the slot of Beyond Limit, so they will be playing in the MPFL season next season. And once that was done, of course, it was always going to be a short deal that they were going to get Emmanuel Amunike to sign as the head coach. I did say all of these things during that time, and right now it's happening. Emmanuel Amunike no longer without a major job, as a head coach, because now he has joined Heartland FC, and this club obviously is being funded by the government. It's owned by the government, and they want to bring Heartland Football Club back to where it used to be. So they are hoping Emmanuel Amunike is going to get this club back to its height. Again, the slot was reportedly bought for around 200 to 250 million naira. That was what the report is claiming, that the Imo State government actually paid Beyond Limits for that slot. A very big congratulations to the man. Of course, now he's going to join Coach Finidi George in the Nigerian NPFL Football League as a manager. If you recall, Finidi actually signed a contract with Rivers United a few weeks ago, and right now Amuneke has now joined. So it's such a nice thing to see these two guys who used to vie for the spot of the Super Eagles, and right now they are in the Nigerian Professional Football League, which is very nice to see. But aside from that update, Sadiq Umar seems to have lost his head. When on Instagram, he actually posted a very, very disrespectful sign, the middle finger sign on his Instagram story. But he had to delete that after a few minutes. But again, that was seen by a lot of the R.Sociedad fans, and they obviously took it to mean that he was telling the club and they, who are the fans, F you. So, the fans obviously exacerbated the whole situation and read meanings into it. But after that, Sadiq Umar actually, as I said, deleted it, and then he posted a fresh one where he apologized for, using that sign on his Instagram. He actually said that he wasn't targeting, or it's not referring to anybody. He said he did it by mistake and that he wasn't targeting anyone at all, that it was just something that came as a whim, not necessarily to the club or to the fans. But again, this is definitely a frustration that we are seeing coming from Sadiq Umar, because we know how he's had a really trying time with R.Sociedad. He actually came into R.Sociedad in flying colors, because his first 5 games, he actually scored 3 goals, scored in his debut, and then went on to score 2 extra goals before he had that very nasty injury that took him out for almost 11 months. And since he came back, to the club, he hasn't been himself. He's at best been, the shadow of his old self, and that has really frustrated him a lot. And not just for him, but also the club also feels frustrated which is why they actually wanted to sell him. R.Sociedad wanted to sell him. Getafe wanted to buy him, but in the end, it did not work out. And remember, Sadiq Umar is still the most expensive signing of R.Sociedad. 20 million euros was what he actually cost them 2 years ago from Almeria. That's what they bought him. And then he continued to have a series of problems after he came back from 11 months injury. And then last May this year, Sadiq Umar was frustrated. He wanted to leave the club. He actually submitted a transfer request and told them that he wanted to leave. Again, R.Sociedad looked for a club for him and all of that, but it still didn't work out. And again, this preseason that they're currently at right now, if you remember a few videos ago, I talked about one time that they didn't want to bring him to the preseason because they didn't have plan for him, into the season with the club. But eventually they allowed him to come. It just seems so frustrating. Even in the preseason, we've not been seeing much of him. The latest right now, before his social media sign or social media gesture, is the fact that he was reportedly told by the club that he is no longer needed, that he should find his way out. And the frustration coming out from this statement from the club apparently is the reason why Sadiq Umar had to do that middle finger sign on his Instagram. But again, this man needs to leave this club because the energy right now is not really looking nice. It's not good at all. The club don't seem to want him to be part of their plans. And I don't even know if R.Sociedad are actually very interested in looking for a club genuinely for this man, and if they are also willing to agree at a very, very reasonable price to allow him go, very, very easily, very swiftly. But again, with all this said, Sadiq Umar just crosses my mind as someone who is a little bit disrespectful. Again, we know this guy has a history of, I don't know, some kind of controversies. Remember, Sadiq Umar had to pull off from the Nigerian Bibles camp when they were preparing for the Nations Cup due to injury. That was the report back then. He said he had injury and all of that. So the man got pulled off and then sent back to R.Sociedad, where the next day he showed up for training and started training like someone who is not injured at all, who had never been injured, at all. And again, that's kind of brought about some kind of negative feeling towards this man from Nigerian fans, because we wanted him to be a part of the team, to make the team stronger, but he just pulled off from the camp, and then later he sent, I don't know if it's an apology or just a long statement. I actually posted it, I think, on the community tab during that period, where he was explaining the reason, this is that R.Sociedad medicals, how NFF medicals did the test, said he had injury, and then he went to his club. The R.Sociedad medicals did their test, and they said there was nothing wrong with him. All these explanations. But the truth is, Sadiq Umar seems to have some sort of problems around him. Generally, I think this man needs to work on his respect, his humility, and the way he carries himself as a professional, because definitely he's an icon. He's a role model to a lot of people out there, young ones coming up, especially. And these kinds of things is not, one of the things that you would like to see these professionals do. But that's the video, guys. Leave your reaction for any of the stories that you like in this video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and follow the page on Facebook. Share the video, guys, to get across to a lot of people. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Stay tuned for more updates.